So since I've done some experiments with planting, oops, I did that wrong, in these planters, well, actually they are storage tubs, 17-gallon storage bucket. But what I've been doing is using them as flower pots. Now they're kind of thin wall, that's why they're so cheap. They're like $10. But if you put them on a platform that I make, then they're quite sturdy and they work quite well. So I can bring my palm trees in during the winter. Now since I'm working with potting soil, I found this Miracle-Gro moisture control potting mix. Protects against over and under watering. I got hibiscus flowers that I want to try to keep this winter. I'm going to build another one of these platforms, just made out of 2x4s and a flat dolly with wheels, and I sprayed it with basically that plastic dip or rubberized undercoat. It's opaque, which means the sunlight cannot get through it, and it's weatherproof, so it'll protect the wood so it doesn't get all gray and brittle or rot. Anyway, doesn't cost very much to make, but that way I can roll it in this door whenever the weather gets cold and keep these things protected. Alright, the topic of this video, as you see, I've been buying potting soil. I have also been purchasing cat litter, and cat litter costs what it does, and it eventually goes to waste. But I got an idea. So potting soil, I have to buy it for these plants, and it's cheaper than cat litter. Like even the good stuff is cheaper than cat litter. There's a difference, but here's what I was thinking of. Feeds and fertilizers, right? Well, fertilizer costs money as well, and so does cat litter. So what I've been thinking of is, really, cats just like to bury their poop, and that's it. And I don't think they really care what they bury it in, because that's why there's different kind of cat litter. There's clay, and then there's a crystal type, which I believe it really seems like those silicon desiccates, because they look a lot like the material and they absorb moisture. Well, I got to thinking, what if I filled the litter box with potting soil? Because I've seen cats bury their poop out in the backyard, or in pine needles or whatever. So I think the cats are not going to be very picky about what they bury their poop in or what they pee in. But here's the thing. Animal waste is considered fertilizer. That's why farmers put manure on crop fields. So what I'm going to do as an experiment is I got potting soil, actually specifically this Miracle-Gro potting mix, and I put it in a litter box. I'm going to have the cats use it, the baby kittens. I'm going to try an experiment for about 3 days, 3 or 4 days, let it get really full of poop and pee. And then I might let it sit out on the porch for a few more days, because it takes, I think, 24 hours. After a urine sits for 24 hours, that's when it starts to become ammonia. Now I've noticed that farmers spray, I think it's anhydrous ammonia, on crops, and I thought that's so weird, because ammonia is considered corrosive and it's a cleaning agent, and well, anyway. But then again, I remember the ancient Romans used to collect urine. They would just have pots that they would have men pee in by the side of the road in ancient Rome, and then they used it for cleaning, and I thought that's really weird. I just thought it was gross, but then I was wondering why they got that idea. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the kittens pee and poop inside of the potting soil, and after about a week, I'm hoping that it'll be ready. About 3 or 4 days of the cats filling up this litter box with pee and poop, and then letting it set for at least 2 days, giving it time for stuff to begin its process, and then using it in my plants. And then just do a cycle. I have a few containers of this and just rotate it. Skim off a top layer of potting soil like I did for this. This was fresh potting soil. And then after about 2 weeks of letting the cats use it and letting it set, maybe it should be ready to become enriched, and then put it back on the top layer, and then let the nutrients do what they're going to do. So it is basically, I pay for cat food, the cats eat it, process it, expel it out, then it starts the process of becoming fertilizer. Then I can use it in this container. I got to drill a hole and get everything ready, because I did take some plastic pipe and I made downspouts for this so that I can aim in a catch pan. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Hopefully it works out.